Changing minds one thought at a time.
Greetings, everyone, and welcome to the Changing Minds online show, Empowering Women series. Good evening, Akina.
Good evening, Jessica. How are you doing today?
I am doing awesome. I'm so excited about tonight's call. You know, often throughout, our time in Changing Minds Online, Akina and I have mentioned, over and over that we're professional network marketers, and we've never really done a call on what that is or how it really plays a big role in our life. And we often our listeners or some of our fans on Facebook will reach out to us and ask us, what are you doing? What's this big secret? And, we've never really kind of revealed or what that means for us. And tonight is a night where we're really going to kind of welcome our fans, welcome our listeners into what we're doing, because it's so powerful, and I believe so strongly in the industry of network marketing as a vehicle for really empowering women. And this is the Empowering Women series. So tonight we're really going to look at, how you can use network marketing to empower women and empower yourself. I have on the call tonight my business coach and my network marketing coach, Danielle Russo-Slew. She's just been an amazing mentor, an amazing friend to me. She's been absolutely just unequivocally one of the best mentors I've had in starting my business and really just taking my life to the next level. I can tell you that if it wasn't for Danielle and her coaching and my involvement in network marketing, I wouldn't be doing Changing Minds Online. This entire podcast wouldn't exist as we know it. So it's really an honor and a privilege that I welcome onto the show my dear friend and coach, Danielle Russo-Slew.
Well, thank you for that lovely introduction, Jess.
No, thank you.
It's a privilege to be on with you two professional women.
Yeah, it's an honor to be here with you. Danielle, a lot of people, ask us, what is network marketing? And you know what? There's really no one better to answer the question, in my opinion, than you. So can you answer that question? We keep getting asked, what is network marketing?
Yeah, I totally agree. I think that lots of folks don't quite, they think they may know, but they don't quite really have a handle on it. So I do a lot of education for people about the industry and how it works, and there's a lot of different kind of parts. But what I can explain very quickly, Jess, for listeners to understand is the simplicity of knowing that a good or service goes from the manufacturer to the end consumer with no middleman. It is just simply a distribution model. And, in the computer age, it's often a great little example that I like to use when someone doesn't really understand the model is the way you would sit down at your computer and go online and order a book, let's say from Amazon, and all of a sudden, a few days later, it arrives at your doorstep, and you walk out to the front door, or your doorman, and you're in New York City like you are with a building, and you pick up your package. So network marketing is simply this distribution model where a good or a service goes from the manufacturer to the end consumer, and no middlemen are involved. In traditional retail, which is the opposite, right, we've got a product or, a product that's manufactured maybe, somewhere overseas. It finally gets on a ship. It comes to port. It comes to the United States. It goes to a distribution center. It goes through the trucking. It goes through many, many channels before it's actually right there on the shelf at your store where you've driven your car or walked, if you're in New York City, to the store, opened the door, gone in, and purchase that off the shelf. And there's so many costs associated with that. So oftentimes products, especially at network marketing companies, are of higher quality because there isn't so much cost associated with all of those different distribution channels. So the end consumer gets a higher quality product. The other interesting thing that I think people need to realize is for many network marketing companies, not for all, but for many, there's no advertising. So there's these gigantic ad budgets and television commercials and print ads, and you know how expensive it is to pay models and do shoots and photographers and do magazine ads and these beautiful glossy spreads. So that money that's saved in most cases goes back into the company's research and development and to pay the associate sales force. So instead of paying all of the costs associated with retail, that money goes into the pockets of independent associates, and they're called different things. Sometimes they're called distributors, sometimes they're called associates. But the folks, to put it really bluntly, the folks who talk the most generally, do very well because they're excited and passionate about what they're representing. And that's, we grew up, many of us grew up with some of the very old companies in the industry like Tupperware or Avon or Mary Kay, some of the really old, titans of our industry. And, and then there's just been lots and lots and lots and lots of new companies. I mean, there literally are thousands of network marketing companies.
Very good. So, I love how you're bringing up the idea that the quality of the product is much higher. And, and correct me if I'm wrong, but not all network marketing companies are created equal with regard to the products. You do want to really verify that you have a high-quality product, especially if it's a product like we use and that we're putting in our bodies. Would you agree with that?
Absolutely, I would agree with that. And there's some wonderful resources that I can just kind of shout out quickly for folks. The Direct Selling Association is the kind of watchdog, if you will, of the whole industry. And they have some really incredible resources online. So if you're ever approached or you're curious or you're looking at something and you want to, see if a company is associated with the Direct Selling Association, that's a great place to go. And their DSA.org is their website. And just preparing for this call and just making sure that I was up on my knowledge. And again, when we get into the billions, I guess it's, 1 billion here, 1 billion there. It might not really matter. But some of the interesting facts, so I was recently on their website, and some of the interesting facts that I'd love to share with your listeners is just that it's such a monstrous industry that I think we don't realize. In 2012, in the United States alone, we did $31.6 billion, and by 2013, that grew to $32.67 billion, with 74% of the American public purchasing in some way, shape, or form a product, a good, or a service from a network marketing company. And that just speaks volumes, to me in how gigantic this is really getting. Globally, $154 billion, and so that leads us kind of to another question, Jess. Right? We know that generally the products are wonderful and at the top range of quality in their particular niche of whatever product you have. It's been growing, right, from 2010, 11, 12, 13. Each year you can look at the charts, and it's growing and growing because people are hungry, I think, for an alternative way of lifestyle. And then to see staggering, statistics like this, it kind of is just can't be ignored. It's really a topic we need to talk about because it does empower so many people.
Yeah, absolutely. I was definitely part of that generation where we were taught when we were kids that if we did well in school, we studied in school, we did well in high school, we took our SATs, we'd get into a great college. If we got on the honor roll, we got in to the dean's list, that we were going to graduate college and get a really great job, and we're going to be set for our lives. And then, 2008 happened. That was the year I graduated. I was very fortunate that I've actually had a job consistently since 2008, and the same job But, I was in a time period where all of my friends weren't getting jobs. Everyone's probably now familiar with in 2008, we had this really big recession. And I saw all of my friends who were coming out with $100,000, in debt in student loans, going back to work their high school jobs, going back to be camp counselors, going back to work in the malls. And I still have a lot of friends that since 2008 never found full-time jobs in their industry. And, unfortunately, the cycle just seems to be repeating itself. And as a young person, I can tell you that, although I've been very blessed, to have a JOB or a job, and I've recently heard this and it made me laugh, but it's so true. It really just stands for just above broke. And, in our lives, in our, especially again for young people, if we want to make our lives better, we need to look elsewhere. We need to develop, another stream of income. Even if you are working, you'll never get out of those student loans. You'll never get out of the debt that many of us created in our younger lives, or we'll really just never be able to create and live that life of the dreams as long as we're, working for someone else. It's often said that either we're creating our dreams or we're working for others to help them create their dreams. Obviously, if you're on this call tonight, you are that person who said, I am ready and I am willing to create. I want to create the life of my dreams. And we're really here to tell you tonight that you can, that you are fully capable and you are enough to be and do and have anything that you want to do. There is nothing that you're not capable of. And I know that Akina, myself, Danielle, we're all here to tell you tonight that network marketing really can be that industry for you, that vehicle that allows you to do it. And then that's why we're really here. The question that we said tonight, the question we were going to pose is, can you really create the life of your dreams with network marketing? I'm here to tell you that I believe that I can. And, Danielle, I know that you've decided or you've believed and you've done it. You're already doing it, that you are creating a life of your dreams with network marketing. And I would just love to invite you to share your story of how you started and got to where you are and what it means for your family. What can you do for your family now that you've really embraced this industry?
Yeah, you've said a mouthful there, and all of it, I'm shaking my head and smiling from ear to ear, and you really are. You're very, very grounded in what it is about and what it can create once someone is open to those possibilities. So, I think for starters, I'd like to begin by just saying, especially for young folks who come out, whether with student loans or just were born into a place where they don't have a silver spoon in their mouth, network marketing is such a wonderful option because of the no startup cost and no overhead. And for many, many people, it can be that, rags to riches story because they didn't have, thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars of capital to begin a new business with. Yeah, the concept of saying, gee, I'd love to work for myself, right? Wouldn't that be great? We can all say that, but without someone backing you or without a bankroll or without being able to sign a 10-year lease in a strip mall or, without being able to purchase a franchise, for lots of people it's scary. What am I going to do? And network marketing companies in particular, and the good ones, have very, very good plans, step-by-step engagement. So one of the sayings, which is so cliche, but I love it, is you learn as you earn. And I know when I certainly am happy to share my story, very vulnerably, why I was attracted to this industry when I learned about it. And when I took a serious good look at it, my husband and I were, life hit us in the face, like many, many Americans. We were working super hard at our business. We had a business on the trading floor of the New York Stock Exchange. And, we were there and we were blood, sweat, and tears and screaming every day in and day out, and had to be standing there to make money. If we weren't there, we didn't make money. Tremendous strapping overhead, tremendous amount of stress. And I think, like many Americans, we were making money as fast as we were spending money as fast as we were making it. We were amassing credit card debt. We were just not fully conscious and aware of where all the money was going. And life really threw us for a loop. My husband had a heart attack in 2006. The floor had already gone computerized, so folks could access the trading floor, didn't really need the brokers on the floor. They could access the trading floor through computers. So, and I tell you that detail because I'm going to swing back to the computerization of the industry in a second. And I was looking for something else. I knew then I needed a vehicle to create income. My husband was recovering from a heart attack. He wasn't working. We closed our business. We went from income to zero. We went from making a lot of money to literally zero, and not a good plan. And I don't know whether a lot of you out there listening may have a plan B or a plan C or even your plan D, but boy, did I learn my lesson of only relying on my plan A. And I think that, just lots of, people do the regular thing like you did, and I was a good girl. I went to college. I got my degree. I wanted to get a job in my field. And then, whatever happens in their company, they get downsized and they're handed a pink slip. And you're like, oh, my gosh, how did I get here? Like, I did all the things you told me to do, and look at where we are. How did I get here, So network marketing came to the rescue for me, and I was open to it because I loved the benefits of working from home. At that point, I had 2 small children, of no overhead. I was so ready to not be paying for all of my employees and all of their health care and their payroll taxes and, giant lease payments to the trading floor for the spots of our real estate. I was really excited at that freeing feeling of not having overhead, having flexibility, right? If it was Friday and we felt like taking off, we did. And if it was Saturday and we wanted to work, we did. And, not having that boss to answer to, or in my case, the bell that rang and, we were hamsters on that treadmill. So for all of the things it provided, the flexibility and freedom, the no overhead, the ability to work from home or anywhere, and now I'll speed up the story and teach you and share with you how we get to work from the beach now. I really loved one of the key components, which was to be building something that creates a legacy, to be building something that has no ceiling, to have the ability to get paid what you're truly worth, and just the sky is the limit. And that really worked for me, and it worked for my personality. I also want to bring up a couple of other things that go along with that. When you build in this industry in a good company, especially the one that I happen to be with now, you're building a sustainable income that's passive. Some people will say the word residual income. There's longevity. So the work that I'm putting in now, I'm in my 3rd year. By year 3 and year 4 and year 5 and year 6 of building, you can build a for lack of a better term, a team, a machine, an infrastructure that can go ahead and take on a life of its own. And you really do a lot of upfront building and coaching and talking and growing. And it's this wonderful experience to take people who have never even seen this before, didn't even know the model existed, and work with them and teach them and kind of create this journey on this wonderful community environment of lifting people up. And it becomes residual, you guys. So you create something that's throwing off this income, right? Because building a consumer network where people are constantly recommending it to other people, it takes and breathes a life of its own. I could never stop my business from growing at this point. I really couldn't, because at this point, somebody who told, in this case, what I do is health and wellness. So somebody told their sister that they lost some weight and they have so much more energy and they feel fantastic. And, again, they went from having X cholesterol to, this new cholesterol level, or, they went from taking something to sleep in the evening and now they're sleeping so deeply, and lots of different changes. And they told their sister. And their sister went to work and told a colleague. And the colleague tried it and it worked for the colleague. And now the colleague went home and told, their brother. And then the brother went ahead and told the brother's personal trainer. And now the personal trainer went ahead and told, 20 people in the gym. So it started with me, but how come all of a sudden there's 20 people from that gym that are using that product that I initially needed for my own health and my own, low energy, or weaning myself off of caffeine, or whatever the reason that I decided to go ahead and do it. So you see how it just breathes in this incredible life force, and it's kind of unstoppable. And I love that about it. And I also, Jess, I think it's really important to bring up the fact that it's an even playing field. Anybody who wants to follow the plan, who believes in themselves, who is willing to roll up their sleeves and dig down and get in the dirt and work like heck, anybody with those characteristics. Now notice, I didn't say highest IQ. I didn't say came out of a fancy school. I didn't say came from, the right side of town or the good side of town or whatever that looks like. Anybody can succeed and get to the tippy top if they're willing to put the work in and roll up their sleeves. And I've seen this before my very eyes. So for me and my family, we did walk away from Wall Street. We started in network marketing in one company. I spent 4 years in that company. It took me just a handful of months. I had the company car, which was a Mercedes-Benz. A handful of months after that, I reached the tippy-top level of their company. I was featured on the Fox Business News and an 8-minute segment, Wall Street trader turns network marketing, superstar, or whatever they titled it. And that was really wonderful to do a live national TV clip. And then my husband, another curveball came our way. And in 2011, my husband was diagnosed with a stage 4 cancer, Hodgkin lymphoma. And that's when I got super serious and had an angel come to me, a woman who is a self-made millionaire in network marketing. And she came to me and introduced me to the current company that I'm with, which is called Isagenix. They're out of Phoenix, Arizona. They're a 12-year-old company. And Isagenix produces organic superfood nutrition. So I did a lot of homework and a lot of due diligence and met their scientists and their doctors and flew out there to meet the company. And we decided to use the products. I was very interested in nutritional cleansing and cellular blood cleansing for my own body, living in New York City and breathing in all the toxins at 9/11, as well as to give my husband something to support him through this now very tough journey of getting through a stage 4 cancer. So I'm happy to kind of report that in the nooks and crannies of, and God, right, imagine if I had to go out and get a quote-unquote JOB job and I had to, commute and impress a boss and be there and, whatever people work now, it's not really 9 to 5, right? It's probably like 7 to 7 or 6 to 9 at night. I mean, I think now the American works probably 50, 60, 70 hours a week for most people. Imagine if I had to do that, and I wouldn't have been able to because I was taking care of him and getting to all of his doctor's appointments and chemotherapy appointments and managing my 2 kids and a household, and I have my parents who lived with us at the time. So, there was a lot on my plate, you guys, but I saw this as a vehicle to freedom, and I wasn't going to let it pass me by. And I feel like, if you're willing to take a chance and you hear that opportunity knocking on your door, don't ignore the door knock. You really, really have to look. Take a good look, because for me, the alternative of like working for the man was just out of the question. I wanted to be fully present and engaged, with my family at that time. So we got busy. We rolled up our sleeves. I started talking with people about the solutions Isagenix had to offer, that I was personally doing it, that my husband was, my children take the products, my parents immediately, healthy aging for their generation. And I started to build. I built right up to executive just by following the step-by-step plan, and started to get paid in the beginning, right? A few hundred, then a few thousand, then more thousands and thousands. And it comes in increments as the more serious you get. We've been able to create an incredible, abundant lifestyle by helping other people. And that's, really the beauty of this. It's not about us. I mean, it might have been about us for the first 5 minutes because, we were kind of in crisis. But then it becomes about how to help and how do I serve others. And the more people and the more others that you serve, the more you are rewarded. So recently, 3 months ago, we were able to keep our home in New Jersey, which is on the water, beautiful home that we've custom built in New Jersey, and we were able to keep that. And we decided to rent a house on the water here in Florida, in Naples, in a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful area where quick bike ride to the beach, and we live, overlooking this beautiful lake, and my kids are going to 2 new schools, and we've just jumped into life here, meeting lots of new people, and decided that we wanted to try kind of life without winter. Summer paradise with palm trees lining the driveway. Sorry for you guys up in the Northeast for the winter that's coming. But really without this last 3 years in Isagenix and building seriously with their company, this would have never been possible. So talk about an empowering, situation. It doesn't matter who you are or where you came from. It just matters if you're willing to kind of get started and look forward to your future and creating that life of your dreams. Because like you said, Jess, it allows you to create the income you want so that you can do whatever you want. So you can go volunteer if that's your passion. You can sit down and write a book if that's your passion. You can, be a life coach if that's your passion. You could, teach first grade if that's your passion, But in addition to, you've built an incredible business that is giving you a residual income that grows and grows as long as you keep feeding it and fueling it and doing it properly. And as far as I know, there's nothing else out there like it. It's just amazing that it really works the way it does. So, I just want to say, do it. Don't hold back. There's just so much out there to be had and to learn. And I think the personal growth component is probably what attracts me to it the most, because I do feel like people hide and they want to play a small game and they just want to kind of be in their little bubble, in their little world. But this industry promotes personal growth. It's kind of a personal growth industry with a paycheck attached to it, and a very abundant one. And I love that about it, because I've seen people grow into a bigger and a better, a more beautiful version of themselves so that they can serve others. And that's what really, keeps me up at night and puts my feet on the morning, and I can't wait to talk to people, because we've been so blessed, and you just want to kind of shout it from the rooftops.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow,
I think we all feel that way. Go ahead, Akina. I'm sorry.
Well, yes, Danielle, we actually had a question for you in the chat room.
Sure.
And you can answer it now, or you can answer it in the chat room. But it's what are the key tips to find the target market?
Yeah, we might need to really just kind of wrap up with that, because it is just at 9:30. So we usually do keep our calls right at 9:30. But maybe we can just leave our listeners with that one kind of final summary.
Yeah, I think it, so the big answer to that question is it certainly is going to depend on what is the good or the product or the service that you're working with, to how you find your target audience. I can say on a daily basis, for me, And certainly I'll share what I'm offering with everyone, because this is a good kind of lead into that, Jess. Is the target audience really is almost anyone, because our products can go in someone who's 2 years old up to 102 years old, because Isagenix produces organic superfood nutrition. And right now, one of the targets that I'm working, one of my focus is people who want to lean, Lean, lean into the holidays. So did you know that average Americans can gain between 7 and 10 pounds getting through the holiday season? We've got the extra office parties and the trays of cookies people bring in, and all the, holiday treats and the eggnog and all the different sweets and grandma's recipes and all of that stuff that starts to happen. And we generally, I think, kind of give ourselves a little bit of a hall pass on some of the exercise routines that we may have, as a daily practice, and say, well, but we've got this, office party, or we need to stop by this person's house, or it's the holidays, so we're a little more lenient on ourselves. And so I'm doing a call to action, for those of you who don't want that to be your same old story, we're doing a 30-day lean into the holiday challenge. I mean, certainly you take the day off and you enjoy your Thanksgiving dinner and, so forth, and then the next day you kind of jump back on. But we use the Isagenix 30-day system, and, again, it's cellular blood cleansing. So you hear the word cleanse, and I'm just going to put this out there. You're not running to the side. There's no running to the bathroom involved. It's imagine giving the inside of your body a power wash. So my target would be right now looking for folks who are interested in getting a jump start on 2015 and not just waiting for that to be the New Year's resolution. Your body is the only place you have to live. And if you treat it properly, and you really, really think about how to value it properly, most of us really could use a good way to rebalance and to recalibrate. And so, my target right now is folks who are really excited about 2015 being their year ever and starting it with the best version of their body and their health that they possibly could start it with.
Yeah, that sounds absolutely great. I know Akina and I are both going to be part of that lean into the holiday kind of group cleanse as well. So if anyone wants to be part of that, and anyone is really kind of looking to get into the industry of network marketing, then, reach out to either myself or Danielle or Akina, and we're happy to kind of help you and join you and help, bring you into this wonderful way of empowering your life and taking it to the next level. Thank you so much, Danielle, for, generously sharing with us tonight, and you're giving us of your time, and we really appreciate you.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Absolutely. I want there to be lots and lots of healthy Changing Mind Online fans out there.
Okay, absolutely, absolutely. Well, thank you, everyone, for called in tonight. And, again, feel free to reach out to us. You can contact us at the Changing Minds Online website, or contact us at changingmindsonline.com. Or feel free to reach out to myself, Akina, or Danielle on Facebook, and just let us know that, you heard the call and that you're really ready to take your life to the next level, and we're going to help you get there. So thank you, everyone. We love you. God bless. Have a great evening. Good night, Danielle. Good night, Akina.
Good night. Thanks for having me.
Good night, everyone.